Okay, so adjacent elements product. Given an array of integers, find the pair of the adjacent elements that has the largest product and return that product. So we're given an array here. The output should be 21, and that's because 7 times 3 is 21. So 3 times 6 is 18, minus 2 times minus 5 is 10. So the highest value that you can get is 21. So first we want to loop through the array. So we just do that with for let I is equal to 0. I is less than the input array length, because we want to loop through it that many times. And we want to loop through it one by one, so I++. If we do console log input array just for the value I, it will just show that we're looping through each element in that array. But if we want to pair them up, because we want to times the first element by the second element, and then the second element by the third element, so we just pair them up by doing input array and then I plus 1. We're now pairing them. However, when we get to the last loop, because we're looping through it 6 times, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, on the 6th one, we've got the element 3 as our input array I, but then we're doing input array sort of like 6 plus 1, which is 7, but there isn't a 7th value. So we need to shorten the length by 1. And by doing that, we will be preventing that loop from occurring. So here, that loop's now gone because we're not doing it. So let's actually, now we've got them paired up, we times them together or multiply them together, which gives us the product. So the value which we're looking for is 21, and now we've got 21 because of the 7 times 3. So now we've got our values. We would want to, let's just const x is equal to the values or the products. We'd want to push this value into an empty array, so it's outside of the for loop. So const new array is equal to an empty array, and now we want to do new array inside the for loop. So each time we get that product value, we push that value, into the new array. So we'll do console log new array. We've now got the array of the product. Awesome. So now we need to find the maximum value in that array. Now we could use the reduce method and compare each value, and then so we just for an example, if we return new array dot reduce, and then we've got current value, call it, put these in brackets. So we've got current value, and then we've got our new value to compare it to. So just trying to think. Current value, new value, console log, the current value. And then we want to compare it to the new value. And then with the reduce method, you've always got to return a value to then pump it back in. So if we was to return the new value, lost it. and show you one here. So 5, 2. So current value is 5, and the new value is, why is that? Yeah, no. Oh, let's just go for test 1. Right, so we've got our new value, which is -12, and our current value is 18. And now we're pushing, or we're pumping in the new value back into the reduce. So -12 is now our current value, and then the new value is 10. And then we're going to pump 10 back into reduce, so it turns into our current value, and then the new value is -35. So what we can do is, if we find out the maximum value, so math.max, and then we want current value, and then new value, and then we want to return this value, so that we want to return the maximum value back into reduce, which would be 21, because we're returning this condition. And yeah, that's all of them. However, another way, just so you don't have to do the reduce method, is just show you on here, console log. We use a spread operator. Let's delete that. I need that one there as well. Test 1. So console log new array. So that is literally the array. But if we use the spread operator, which are the 3 dots on that array, we sort of take the array away, and it's just the values, the raw elements, which will go into math.max. So if we do math return math.max, just to show new array, because we're inputting the array into math.max, we don't get anything. So the output is null, because you can't put an array directly into math.max. But if we use the spread operator to put the values of the array into math.max, then it will work out, and it will give us the maximum value, which is 21. So if we comment this out, let's just submit. It says that way, that's correct. But there's a shorter way in how to do this. And that would be to, first of all, use the map method. So if I do const, just to shorten it all down again, const a is equal to input array. And now if I was to, let's just return it for now. Return, we're pushing the array into map. And then we want the value, because that's what we want to use, each value of the array. But also, if we use the index as well, and now for each value, we want to multiply that. Say we was going to do value times multiplied by value. It won't give us the correct result, because that will basically, oh, that's null. Why is that null? Return a, it's because it's all in one line. Let's do const x is equal to return x. That's still not right. a.map. Got this. Tell you what. There we go. So yeah, because we've got 3 multiplied by 3 is 9, 6 multiplied by 6, which is 36, but it's not what we need. So you think, okay, we've got the index, so let's just put the value, let's just get the next value. But we can't do value and then in brackets I plus 1, plus 2. That won't work because this is just the value. We haven't got the next value. We're not looping through it that way. But if we was going to say it was A, which is the original of A, so for instance, we've got our first value, which has an index of 0, so 3, which has an index of 0. Let's just show this one here will do exactly the same as what the value multiplied by value is. Oh, index. So 3 times 3 is 9, 6 times 6 is 36. Because of that is A, the input, 3, multiplied by the current value, which is 3. But if we do index plus 1 here, then what we would be doing is the current value, which is 3, multiplied by 6, because of the input would be the second index of that array. So for instance, say we had -2 as the value. Well, -2 has an index of 2. So plus 1 onto that index, which is 3, from the original array, would be -2 times -5, which will give you 10. And then once again, when we get to the last value, we're doing 3. Okay, great. 3 has an index of 6 plus 1, which is 7, which gives us the result of null because it's undefined. It doesn't work. So next thing that we'd need to do is, let's just do const z is equal to return the z. We'd want to slice x, so x.slice, and that would be 0 minus 1. Now what this would return is it would get rid of the null. If I do, instead of returning, let's just console log. So console log x and z. So what you can see here, it's taken off the last value. If we was going to do just console log slice 0, it would take nothing off. So nothing's changed. Because the first value that you input into slice, it will take everything off from the left hand side, so at the beginning of the array. So slice 1 would take off 18. Next, slice 2 would take off 18 and -12. But we don't want to take anything off the beginning of the array, so we'll just keep that as 0. We just want to take stuff off the start of the array. So if we do 0 and then 1, sorry, at the end of the array, oh no, -1, 0 and -1, it would then take that NaN out. If we was going to do like, say, -3, it would take not a number, 21, and -35 out. So it's like, okay, great. So now we have our array of products. And that's to the variable z. So let's just do the exact same as what we've done down here. Return mathmax of the new array. So we can do return mathmax spread operator z. There we go. So now if we shorten or clean this code up, we can turn it into one line. And the way in how to do that would be, we'll keep this line here for now. We'll take these console logs out. So the way in how we'd need to think about it is map, the map method will output an array, and that is the array in which we want to slice. So we wouldn't be able to do, say, map a.map and then .slice for that result. We would have to do it at the beginning of map, because it's what map is going to output. So if we do a.slice 0 minus 1, take that away, and then console log x. We've now got our array of products without the not a number. So now we want to find out the maximum value. So if we do math.max of all of that, and if we was going to return this, it wouldn't, we wouldn't be able to find the result because we are inputting the whole array into math.max, but we use a spread operator on that array of products. We can then find the maximum value, which is 21. So now if we return this, we'd get our result. If I take these out, and then also take this line out, and then just change A to input array. And then return that, we've got our one-liner. Submit.